Hello students, today we are going to discuss about one of the important components of psychotic disorders. You all know how psychotic disorders are, what psychotic disorders are, how complex they are, how difficult they are to be treated. So today let us discuss about the first psychotic disorder, that is schizophrenia. I think you are familiar with this term schizophrenia. Most of you might have heard this term in some of the novels or in some of the movies. So, let us see psychologically what does that mean, why it occurs and how it can be treated. Schizophrenia is one of the psychotic symptoms characterized by disturbances in thought, feelings and emotions. And why this occurs, why schizophrenia occurs, it is very difficult to say, because it is a complex of genetic, psychological and social factors. There is little known cause of schizophrenia because all these factors interplay in the development of these personality disorders. It might be having a genetic base, and because of that people are highly vulnerable for the occurrence of this kind of a schizophrenic disorder, and the environmental factors may contribute to the already predisposed person with the gene. For example, if you take the role of the genes, it is found in the research that schizophrenia is running in families. Many studies on twins, it has been revealing that schizophrenia is a genetically based disorder. And secondly, the role of the neurotransmitters cannot be underestimated. Any imbalance in the neurotransmitters, especially the role of dopamine, cannot be underestimated. So, the role of the neurotransmitters, the role of the genes is highly influential in the development of these disorders. And second thing is the environment, whether it is the psychological environment or the environment which is affecting the psychological state of well-being, and sometimes even during the birth or immediately after the birth, the viruses, the diet, the nutrition aspects at the time of the birth and immediately after the birth also may lead to the development of these disorders. When we are discussing about this schizophrenia, generally one question that often arises is whether the schizophrenia is a functional psychosis or whether it is an organic psychosis. So, when we are trying to relate the concept of psychotic disorder, there are two types of psychosis: organic psychosis, functional psychosis. So, organic psychosis occurs when there is a brain injury, when there is a malfunctioning of the brain or any tumor in the brain that may affect the way we think, the way we behave, the way we feel. So, that is called organic psychosis. Another psychosis is functional psychosis, which can be attributed to the environmental factors like any traumatic issues, any severe life crisis, life stresses which the person is unable to handle may eventually lead to the onset of the psychosis. So, here schizophrenia in certain cases is found to be the organic psychosis, whereas in most of the cases as per the research it is because of the functional psychosis, because there were many cases where it was found due to the traumatic life experiences, people finally resulted into this kind of a disorder. So, when they were unable to cope, when their defense mechanisms failed, or because of their exaggerated use of defense mechanisms, they might not be focusing on the reality. So, they want to avoid in facing the reality, which may lead them to develop a kind of a disorientation in their thinking, in their behavior and also in their expressions. So, most of the cases we can attribute it to the functional psychosis. There are a number of books which are available on the prognosis of the schizophrenia. Probably we can understand in a more detailed way if you can relate it to the cases also. So, this is about the attribution of the schizophrenia to the organic or to the functional psychosis. And another interesting finding is twin studies indicated that if one twin has developed the schizophrenia, it is not necessary that the other child associated with this twin also will be developing the schizophrenia. There is no, the correlation is very less. Though it runs in families, though when compared to the normal siblings, the development of the schizophrenic disorder in the twins is great, but it is not necessary that in all the cases the other associated sibling in the twins has to develop a kind of a disorder. So, these are some of the interesting findings associated with this development. Some of the common symptoms which are associated with schizophrenia are lack of emotion, which we call it as flat affect. You do not see any emotions in these people. Then delusions, strongly held false beliefs. The reality shows something else, but they do not want to believe the reality, but they are preoccupied with the kind of the belief that they have towards these issues or towards the events and the situations. Then hallucinations. Hallucinations is one of the important symptoms associated with schizophrenia. Hearing or seeing things when nothing is present in the field, when nothing is present in the environment. Then we say loose associations are very frequent among the schizophrenics. That is, thoughts jump from one topic to the other, one situation to the other. When you are dealing with, when you are talking with a schizophrenic, even before you complete or even before they complete their statement, they immediately jump to the other statements. Then social isolation. Because of their bizarre behaviors, naturally they try to isolate themselves, they do not want to interact with the others. A variety of symptoms like not able to take up the daily activities, no emotions, presence of hallucinations and delusions. Scientifically, mental health specialists classified the symptoms of schizophrenia as positive symptoms and negative symptoms. Positive symptoms are something like distortion of a person's normal thinking and feeling, normal thinking and normal way of functioning. So, because of this dysfunction, we call it as a psychotic behavior. And these positive symptoms include hallucinations. Hallucinations are they see, they hear, they smell, they feel something when nothing is there in their environment. For example, hearing voices is very much common. When a group of people around the patient are unable to hear anything, these people hear voices coming from different sources. Then another positive symptom is delusions. These are strongly held beliefs and there are number of delusions. For example, delusions of persecution. Delusions of persecution means people feel that the whole world is trying to plot against them. A person that is a schizophrenic who is having this kind of a delusion will suspect that people around are trying to kill him using some kind of a means, whether it is using an instrument or whether it is poisoning them, in whatever means they assume. In another delusion, that is delusions of reference, they give a particular meaning to the behavior of others. For example, when people with schizophrenia watch TV, when they are watching TV, whatever they hear from the TV, they feel that they are hinted against them. So, that they are referring, people in the TV are referring to them. So, any kind of an aggressive act or any kind of a threatening act which they see in the TV, they feel that it is used towards them, that is delusion of reference. Another example of delusions is delusion of grandeur. Delusions of grandeur are different from delusions of persecution and reference. In delusions of grandeur, the patient feels that he is high above everyone. He feels he is the highest, greatest person in the world. They may claim that they are the President of India, they are the President of US, or they could be Mother Teresa, or they can become a Napoleon. So, they exactly behave in the similar way how these great personalities behaved. They may dress up in certain cases in a similar way, where whom they are quoting as personalities, or it could be an Abraham Lincoln for them. So, they try to take some personalities, assume some personalities, and they feel that it is they and not actually the imaginations. So, this is delusions of grandeur. Another example of delusion is delusions of control. It is something like people with schizophrenia, they feel that all the external forces are trying to control them. For example, radio signals, or it could be imagined beings like aliens from outer space. So, they hear that some people or some signals are hinting against them that they have to do some particular act. That is, they feel that they are triggered by some external factors like radio signals and aliens from outer space, that to engage in a particular action. So, when they do a particular act, they say like they are being directed by some of the signals, radio signals or any aliens from the outer space. Then thought disorders. Thought disorders is another symptom of schizophrenia, where they feel that they cannot completely express one particular issue. They try to mingle number of sentences, they try to mix up with a number of views, and they cannot present in an organized way. Even one particular sentence, they may not present it with a clarity. So, this could be a disorganized thought. Then movement disorders. Sometimes they may show agitated body movements. For example, like repeatedly showing the same action, same movement again and again. That is continuous movement of leg or continuous movement of hand. So, you see a agitated movement of one particular part of the body, and in extreme cases there is no movement at all. Either on one extreme it is complete movement, agitated movement, in the other extreme there is no movement at all. So, they just lie down without moving even a slight bit, and this condition is called catatonia. All these are positive symptoms of schizophrenia, but there are also negative symptoms. These negative symptoms indicate that the person with schizophrenia cannot function normally. For example, they talk in a very dull voice, that is one of the negative symptoms. Then no facial expression, something like a smile or an anger, whether a pleasant or unpleasant, they do not exhibit any facial expressions. They cannot enjoy themselves even when certain jokes are cracked. They cannot plan any activity, even a simple activity like shopping for the groceries, and they talk very little to the other people even when they want to talk, even when they have to talk. So, completely they avoid people, interacting with the people. So, these are the negative symptoms, and within that major category is cognitive symptoms. As we have already discussed, because of the disorganization of thought, they cannot take their decisions properly, and they cannot use the information given to them in solving the problems, and they also have trouble paying attention. So, these are the different symptoms of schizophrenia. Stages of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia will not develop all of a sudden. It is a gradual process. It does not occur overnight. So, if you can identify or if you can observe some of the symptoms of schizophrenia in any person, early diagnosis is always a better thing. So, what are the different stages? Let us see. Schizophrenia usually starts sometime between late adolescence, late teens and early adulthood. The course of the development of this disease differs from person to person, but it has three different stages. The first stage is prodromal phase. In the prodromal phase, it is just the beginning of the development of the disorder, and where you see the first signs of deterioration, and it is very difficult to diagnose whether the person has developed the symptoms of schizophrenia or it is just a normal deviation from the regular pattern of behaviors. But sometimes they also show strange personal habits like collecting trash from garbage cans or not washing themselves. That is, they avoid taking bath, they just lie on the bed, they do not want to follow any hygienic ways. During the active phase, that is during the second stage of the development of the schizophrenia, the symptoms become more clear. In the first stage, it was sometimes it is evident, sometimes it is not evident, but in the second phase, the symptoms become more clear, and this particular stage is triggered by any actual event. Suppose like in the life, if the person is undergoing any psychological trauma, any financial crisis, already the symptoms are present and these situations may trigger that. So, this is the active phase where the symptoms become more predominant. Then the third stage is the residual phase. Here you see that the symptoms more or less return to the prodromal phase of schizophrenia, because the intensity slightly diminishes, the intensity of the disorder slightly diminishes, but the sufferer, that is the patient, might still be found emotionally sick and he cannot take the responsibilities of day to day life. So, this is the third stage, residual phase. These are the three different stages where the development of the schizophrenia occurs. Now, coming to the types of schizophrenia. There are 5 types of schizophrenia based upon the symptoms that are present at the time of the assessment. The first one is paranoid schizophrenia. Paranoid schizophrenics are preoccupied with delusions, auditory hallucinations. Mainly it is delusions and especially the auditory hallucinations, but they do not show any symptoms of disorganized schizophrenia. Main thing is delusions and auditory hallucinations which are present in this paranoid schizophrenia, but much of the behavior is not disorganized. Whereas, the second type of schizophrenia, that is disorganized schizophrenia, you see that speech and behavior are disorganized and complete absence of emotion. But still, even at this stage, the patient does not show all the symptoms to call them as schizophrenics. Another type of schizophrenia is catatonic schizophrenia. Here, to call a patient a catatonic schizophrenia, at least 2 symptoms must be present. One is difficulty in moving. Their mobility will be reduced, they do not make any movement. Resistance to moving, even if you try to help them out, they show high resistance. Sometimes excessive movement will be shown, or abnormal movements, or repeating whatever others are saying or others are doing. So, in this catatonic, main symptom is the movement, either complete absence of the movement or exaggerated movement or no expression, and apart from this, repeating whatever the others are doing, whatever the others are saying. So, this is catatonic schizophrenia. Another type of schizophrenia is undifferentiated. This is also characterized by the presence of 2 or more of the symptoms. So, here also in the undifferentiated we find delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech or behavior, catatonic behavior or negative symptoms. But the individual cannot be completely called as a full-fledged schizophrenic. Apart from these basic types, schizophrenia can be further classified as 2 subforms, that is schizophreniform psychosis. It is similar to schizophrenia, but continues to be there only for 6 months or less than 6 months. Then another type is schizotypal disorder. This schizotypal disorder is used to describe unusual behaviors, thoughts, feelings which resemble the symptoms of schizophrenia, but without the abnormal characteristics. So, both schizophreniform and schizotypal disorders cannot be completely taken up as the schizophrenic disorder. The schizoaffective disorder, it is a subclass of schizotypal disorder, very prominent schizophrenic and all the mood characteristics are present. It is difficult to diagnose whether the person has a schizoaffective disorder. Comorbidity with any kind of a psychotic disorder or any kind of an abnormal disorders, abnormal behaviors, we see the comorbidity. Similarly, with the schizophrenic, if we see the comorbidity, alcoholism and drug addiction may worsen the cause of the particular symptoms of the schizophrenia. That is, it may increase the presence of the illness. And it is found that from 80 to 90% of the schizophrenics were also the regular cigarette smokers. To some extent, anxiety and phobias are also common, and there is an increased risk of obsessive compulsive disorder and panic disorder. Schizotypal, schizoid or paranoid personality disorders may be the onset to really land up with the schizophrenic disorder. So, this is the comorbidity. And coming to the prognosis, it is a lifelong illness. There is a difference of opinion. Some mental health professionals say we need not completely rely on the medical treatment throughout the life, but whereas some people say they have to stay on the medication throughout their life even if the symptoms have been minimized. And antipsychotic medications are most effective in the treatment of schizophrenia, because they try to balance the chemicals which are released in the brain, that is the neurotransmitters are tried to be in a balanced way if we give them the antipsychotic drugs. But if they are not focused on the medication, if they are not put on the medication regularly, if the complete course of the medication is not taken, the symptoms may come back. The relapse is very high in the schizophrenia. So, sometimes apart from the medication, we also need to give supportive therapy in order to provide them the kind of the support that they receive in taking their medication, in also making the things done by their by them. Behavioral techniques like social skills training can be used to improve their social work and functioning with the others. But it is very difficult to make them work because of the kind of the disorganization that they have, but depending upon the intensity of the disease, probably certain elements can be taken care of. The treatment includes not only the treatment for the schizophrenic, but even the community and the family has to be involved in this. Educating the family members, if it is a local community, probably the primary mental health workers can also be involved in giving them the advice, in giving them the tips as to how this kind of a patient has to be treated, how he has to be taken care. Because most of them might be under the substance abuse, de-addiction treatment also has to be provided to them. And then cognitive behavioral therapy is sometimes essential in order to change their irrational thoughts, that is the delusions, false beliefs, all these aspects. And it is found that schizophrenia, the people with schizophrenia have more than twice the rate of death than those without the disorder. So, the onset of the death is much earlier also for these people. However, research shows that with treatment, people with this kind of a disorder can have a better family life if the support is given by the family members and the proper environment in the community. So, this is what about the schizophrenia is. Just let us summarize the concept of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is one of the significant psychotic disorders, which is an interplay of genetic, psychological and social factors. The main symptoms of schizophrenia includes flat affect, delusions, hallucinations, loose associations and bizarre behaviors. There are different stages of schizophrenia in the development of the disorder. One is prodromal phase, where you do not see the active presence of the symptoms. The other is the active phase, where you see certain predominant symptoms of schizophrenia, and in the residual phase, where the presence of the symptoms are slightly less intense. There are different types of schizophrenia like paranoid schizophrenia, disorganized schizophrenia, catatonic schizophrenia, undifferentiated schizophrenia and residual schizophrenia. Apart from these major schizophrenic disorders, you will also see schizophreniform psychosis and schizotypal disorder. The schizotypal disorder also has another form of schizophrenia called schizoaffective disorder. Coming to the prognosis of the schizophrenia, even with the medication, it is a continuous lifelong process, and coming to the medication, antipsychotic drugs are given to the person with schizophrenia. Apart from that, psychotherapies, especially the behavior modification therapy, cognitive therapy and involving the family members and community, that is community counseling and family counseling are also given predominant importance in providing treatment to the schizophrenics. We also see sometimes the schizophrenia not only in the adolescence, but even there is a childhood schizophrenia. So, we have to observe the symptoms when they are present, at which age, though predominantly it is seen in the adolescence. But because of the changing lifestyles, because of the changing social situations, the childhood schizophrenia has also become more predominant compared to the